There are a few things most organisms share. No, it's not trunks or teeth or some types of hair. I'm thinking of growth and how a thing ages, moving and changing through discrete stages. Babies and toddlers, teenagers, grown-ups, the process moves on despite some hiccups. The word for this is ontogeny, and yes, it is important to plant ecology. But it's often avoided when studies are done of plants and their traits, but boy is it fun. So I'm here to talk of plant traits through time. I'll show a few graphs, but mostly I'll rhyme. We'll start with some words, but only a few. Seedling and sapling, juvenile, adult too. Seedlings are fickle, some help they still need, from the reserves that are stored in their seeds. Saplings, juveniles, their goal is to grow, stretching their leaves out as upward they go. Adults have new aims they've established just fine. Their main focus now is the family line. As far as they'll go, their seeds they will send. That's the short version, beginning to end. But let's focus now on which shifts take place along the plant's trek, or is it a race? When they start out, so cute and so small, the traits they express are so they get tall. At this young stage, their leaves can be thin. It's a race for goods, and they all aim to win. The roots are thin too, exploring the soil, bending and curving as onward they toil. What's with SLA? It tends to be high. SRL does too. I think you know why. Mining and climbing for nutrients and light. If they're acquired, the future looks bright. Life seems so simple for these little guys, but if they don't prep, they'll get a surprise. Drought's abiotic, so is heat and cold. Cows are biotic, as are bugs and as mold. It's stressors like these that kill our small friends, but if traits change quick, it won't be the end. To cope with it all, they need to get tough. They need to shift gears before it gets rough. SLA drops low, as does SRL. Plant fungal root friends, they change just as well. Dry matters increase, tissues may get dense. Most of these trait shifts relate to defense. Defense against stress of every darn kind. Sometimes the stressors can even combine. Bitter leaves may help if bugs are the foe. Deep roots may be clutch if rainfall is low. Which traits matter most can change over time, but the going thought is in these next lines. Acquisition is vital for the little guys. Conservation is key as time goes on by. Let's also note this, strategies change less compared to sole traits when put to the test. So multiple traits may be better than one to grasp where traits end from where they begun. And the saying we know, it always depends, means every species may have its own trend. Despite exceptions, one thing that we know, traits which matter most get populations to grow. We're learning a lot, but questions remain. If we are thoughtful, there's lots to be gained. Which traits change most remains to be solved. Are trajectories plastic or are they evolved? If inter is big and intra is small, then seedling data may not be needed at all. But I truly think this isn't the case. We can't just study the end of the race. Climates are changing, conditions are too, and the starting line, it looks totally new. Droughts, fires, and floods are all on the rise, and issues with weeds are growing in size. A grasp of trait shifts is needed, you see, to predict just what responses will be. To these new filters our seedlings must pass so that communities can establish and flourish at last. Thank you.